Hello, welcome back to my crafty corner. This is Sarah. All right, so I'm back with our vintage Christmas album, and I just have that there so you can see the pretty paper. And then, but what we're gonna do in this video, or what I'm gonna show you in this video, at least, is I think the last one we had was our book covers. This one, and then I did the two small ones here. And so I'm going to go through and show you kind of what I did with these and go on with this one here as well. So this is the large one, and what I'm trying to do is keep it to where, you know, we don't have a lot of leftover papers and waste and all of that. I don't want to have anything to really have anything left over. So I have went ahead and went through in this album, and I did add a couple of the pages, just like the base parts of the pages. So I added 2 to each little page part there, the binding, like that. And then we're going to build on top of these. And these are measuring at 7 1/4 by 9. And then you score at a 1/2 inch on this 7 1/4 inch side. Well, you would put it in your scoreboard on the 9 inch side and score it a 1/2 inch, if that makes sense of what I'm saying. And so I've already got those in there, and then I have everything else cut down and sort of prepped a little bit. So what I've done is I went through and I cut down, let's go through like the bigger pieces first. Okay, so on these I cut, and instead of having them like flip out, I normally have like flip outs. These I did different, and we're gonna have them flip up or flip down. And so they'll actually go in like this with the scored side. You know what? That looks like really long to me. Did I do that wrong? Hang on. See, I just now noticed something. Actually, no, that would be right. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I've done it wrong. Okay, so I cut these down to 8 1/2 by 7 3/4, and then I scored at a 1/2 inch on this side here, which would be you would put this in your scoreboard at on the 7 3/4 inch side, and you would score at a 1/2 inch. And so when that's folded, that's going to give us 7 1/2, or 7 1/4, and that's the size of our pages in the book. And then this is minusing that 1/2 inch. So since they go 9 the other way, you have to take that 1/2 inch away from the actual spine part here. So this would fold here and fit like that, and it should fit pretty. It might hang over a little on one side. I'm okay with that though. That doesn't really bother me that much. So that's how those will go. And then we have, you know, space big enough for larger photos or several or multiple photos on a page. That was weird. Okay, so I cut 8 of these down. So there'll be 4 to each part. So you could do 2 to the front, to the back, and to where and we may end up doing more of these. I hadn't exactly decided yet on this. So, all right. And then I also cut down 2 to make a pocket, and I cut those at 9 by 8 1/4. So, and then I put this in my scoreboard on the 8 1/4 inch side, and I scored it a 1/2 inch. And then I just flipped it around this way and scored it a 1/2 inch again. And then I put it in on the 9 inch side, and I scored it at a 1/2 inch also. So on the 2 longer sides, you'll have a 1/2 inch, and then on one of the shorter sides, you'll have a 1/2 inch, and that should get you with those. And then I also went ahead and cut down the mats that will fit in the pocket. So I cut those to there. I cut those down to 8.5 by 7, or 7 by 8.5, whichever you want to say. Either way it works. Okay, so then I have those, and I also had, okay, so like when I trimmed these down, I had, you know, these larger, or these cutoffs here, and so I thought, you know, I want to use those. I don't want to just toss them or whatever. So I cut them down to 7 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then I scored at a 1/2 inch on one of the longer sides here. Oh, and I made myself a note up here because I haven't actually cut these down yet to 7 1/4. I'm gonna have to trim them down to 7 1/4 so that they fit this way. Or, I mean, really, I could leave them and we could do it like a 1/2 a pocket. So I may end up doing that. I did make myself a note, though, to cut down to 7 1/4, but I may actually maybe do 2 one way and 2 another way. Because, that might could be just a way to kind of do it a little bit different. So I've got those, and then I also had these, which measure the same as that. I did cut these down to 7 3/4 by 4 1/4, and I have 4 of those. These were 4 also. And then I scored at 3/8 of an inch on both of the longer sides, and then at a half an inch on one of the shorter sides. And the reason I done that is because that way I could get more out of this pocket without having smaller pocket. Does that make sense? I mean, I only gained, I don't know, like what, 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch or something like that. I don't even know. Makes the pocket 3 1/2 instead of, it would have been what, at a half. So I think I gained like a quarter of an inch on that pocket. But that also, it still gives us plenty of enough room here to add our 1/4 inch score tape, and it should work just fine. And I did 4 of those. And then I also made little, I had some more little pieces that I'd cut down that were smaller from some other leftover pieces that I had. So I just made tags to fit down in here. I cut those 3 1/4 by 7 1/2, and I did 4 of those. So we're gonna call this our tall slim pocket, and then that other one would be just our large pockets. So I have those, and then all I have to do is go through, fold my score lines, and put my tape on, and get ready to assemble these. And I'm not saying that this is everything that's going in there. It's a possibility that I might cut down some more paper. I still have some left. I didn't use this entire sheet. I don't even know if it was an entire pack when I started using it, to be quite honest with you. I think it was, but it might not have been quite 30 sheets. So for $5, I think that's a good deal. And it is pretty, I mean, it's pretty thick, you know, sturdy cardstock. So I've done that. For the 2 smaller ones, you know, I have, once you cut, for the larger album here, when you cut your chipboard down, it left you with this good size here, which is 4 1/2. And then I cut 2 pieces down to 5 1/4, and then that left me with 1 1/2 inch spine. And I did that with both pieces that I had left over. And so I also had some pieces left over that I had cut down, and I thought those would make, because they were 12 inches long. Actually, it's on this one. This one. So I did it like this. So this is 12 inches. I scored it at a 1/2 inch. And then I scored it at 5.5 and then at 10.5 because I thought it would leave me, you know, like we could glue just the sides here and then we could have an automatic wool tuck spot in there. And I like that idea, except I made a boo-boo. I did not measure right. I don't know why I was thinking that. But then after, and I didn't even test them. I just stuck them in. And look at that. They stick. They're longer than my covers. Now, I could go in and fold this all and put it in my trimmer and trim each one of those down. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like it is. And I'm going to try to work with this mistake. And I think I'm going to add something on here. I've been thinking about what it is exactly that I want to use to add like some type of an extender or whatever on here to make it look more decorative, like it's supposed to be that way. And I'm just gonna leave mine like that. If you make a booby like that, you can go in, you know, like, I mean, because I could fold this and put it in, and I'm not gonna say that it would be easy. It would be difficult, and I'd have to fold my book and all that stuff, but I'm okay with it being, you know, too long, and then each one, it'll have its own little pocket, and they'll be whichever way I decide to fold them. It doesn't have to be, you know, the way that it is now. I can change it and pretty much make them however I choose, but that's about where I'm at with that one. So after I did all that, I thought, okay, well, I could have fixed these easily, so I did that. And so I just went in and I cut them down, but I'll just tell you what you need to do them like this. So you would need to cut your pages down to, I don't think I didn't write in this one, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. So all I did was I cut them down at 5 by 4 1/4, because that's the width that needs to be here. So 5 by 4 1/4, and then I scored it at a half inch on that 5-inch side. Yes, 5-inch side. I'm sorry. And then I just did several that way, and then I just attached them like that and made little folds. Now, I had already had some cut down like this or folded like that with that. So when I trimmed mine down, I just cut it like a 1/2 inch past the score mark there, and then I ended up with the little leftover pieces like this, and I decided to go ahead and use those because I didn't want to throw them away because I'm trying to not waste. And so I think it's gonna work, and we can do like let me see if I can't find one here. Yeah, I don't know if this one will fit. Might be too big. But then, yeah, that'll work. Oh, yeah, see, that works perfect. I'm going to have to get the other one and put in there. I'm going to have to trim it. I might have to trim it down just a hair. But look at that. That will be a little tag or pocket. And we could do more than one in there. I'm not saying we have to do just one, but, and that'll hold in there just nicely. And, yeah, I'll just go ahead and stick, I only did 2. I only have 2 of them. Let me just grab another one of those. I'll stick it in there already. Let me see if I can get more than one. I used a new glue on one of these also. I found it at the Dollar Tree. And I don't really know if it's a great buy because, I mean, because you get the Fabri-Tac and it is expensive, but, I mean, you do get 8 fluid ounces versus, well, this one's 2 ounces, so it might still be a good deal. But this one's tacky glue, but it's the Beacon brand, all-purpose tacky glue, paper, wood, ceramics, and more. So I thought, you know, for $1.25, we can try it out and see how it works. And I did it on one of these pockets. I don't know. I think probably this one. So I think it might work out pretty good. All right, so we can do 2 in there. I think that'll be big enough. I might end up trimming them down just a hair. That would make them kind of work a little bit better, I think. But yeah, why not? There we go. And then of course I have all of these other pieces that I can cut down to make pockets for the other ones as well. And there's that one. And I did, let's see, how many did I do? I did 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. So on the fronts, well, on the front of this one, I did 3. 1, 2, 3. Then our 2 little pieces here to make that pocket. You could, if you wanted to get the maximum length out of this, you could take, you know, just a 1-inch piece and score it in half, and then like cut it down to match, and put a little tab on there to attach these 2. But I just glued mine together. I think that's fine like that. And then 2, they're snug in there. And then on the back one here, I only did 2. And then this one is kind of mirrored that. It's 2, then that piece there. And then this one I did 3 also. So, and then for these, we have all of these cut down that will, and I might have to trim them down a little bit, but they should fit. They might be a little off, but you know what? We are going to go with that. We're going to make that work. So we have all of those. I love them. They're so pretty. Alrighty, so there's that. And I will probably go in and do, I don't know which ones I want to do first. Do I want to do the big ones, or do I want to start with the smaller ones? This is my troubles. This is my dilemmas. This is where I get hung up. Those are ready to go. I still have to do the others. I'm not sure yet. I will show you what else I've been doing though. So I have these I have dies and all that. I've been die cutting like crazy. As you can see, I have just, all kinds of the flowers. But yeah, so I have these listed as the holiday brushstroke number 3, which is the new one of the new Sizzix, Tim Holtz Sizzix dies that have come out. And then I also pulled out some of my older ones, like the big dies. So like I had this cardinal, and I pulled that out. I just cut a few of those. Not that I'm going to use all of these, but at least I have them ready to go. I did a lot of the tattered poinsettias. I was going to do, I do have the brushstroke ones, but I did cut those out, but I don't know that I'm going to use those in this album. And I think the reason that I decided to do that is because, while these are painted, I guess they could pass as a brushstroke, but like, I have another Christmas paper pad that is more like watercolor, and I think that they will go better with that one. And I feel like maybe I had some other dies that go suit this line or these papers better, which would be these, because they have the little outline, like those have like a little gold outline on them, and I think that these will work. Now, mine are all white. I have not inked anything yet, but I did just spend the day just cutting stuff out. So I have all kinds of holly, different branches and things like that. Of course, I will have all of the dies and things like that listed in the description box below. The ones that I can find. The big dies, I'm not really sure if they're available anymore, but you can use, like these are the pine cones. If you have any like spiral die, especially if it's a flower die, and they have like especially the ones that have the little pointy tips, you can still use that as a pine cone. And then the branch on there as well. So I have a lot of things here ready to go, Love the tattered pine cones, probably one of my favorites. So I feel like those would go really well with this as well. And then I had those, this one is a new Sizzix die, Tim Holtz, and it's the, oh, what are those? The tags? Tags. Hang on, let me see if I got it right here. I know I got it. Let me pull it over here. I'll just pull both of these. Okay. So it's this one right here. Maybe there's not a glare on there. I haven't cut the hole reinforcers and stuff out yet. Because I haven't debated on whether or not I'm going to use the actual color of the tag. I might actually just go with brown and do like some walnut stain ones and then just go with that. And then also I used the labels. So these are called frame tags and I guess frame labels, right? So I use those. This one is from this release, the Sizzix release, the Christmas release. And then this one is from the previous, not the Halloween, but the previous one before that. And I don't know which one that one was, but they should still be available. So I did one of each size, and I watched a demo that Tim Holtz had done on how to get the color on the tags, and I just used that craft cardstock to make the tags. And then I did fired brick, and then I picked each of the labels, and I went with the square or rectangular shaped labels, and I did one long one. So these are the ones I went with. I didn't go crazy and just doing a lot of those. That's a lot of cutting and wiping and doing all that, but that was fun. I liked doing that. I think I need to invest in the switch though. Those are pretty pricey, but I think they would probably be really worth the money. So I'm going to start saving my money for that, because I'm telling you, cranking on that Big Shot, which don't get me wrong, I love mine and I use it a lot, but cranking that handle, it just, my hand was feeling it. So I think it might be wise to invest in one. We'll see. I also cut all of the same ones. I just kept those out because I had those going, and while I had the red going, I had some of the craft. I have lots of scraps and stuff, so I just used those scraps, and I used the fired brick, and I used archival ink on these, and I just ran those through, and it, you know, got that color on there and cut and embossed. Because it's like, I don't know if you can't really see, but like it's embossed in there. It's really cool looking. And I like these. I mean, you can get labels and things like that, but I feel like these, they feel and they look, they're so cool looking. So anyways, I really like those. So I did red in the cream and in the craft, and that's fired brick. And then I also did the cream in the cream and craft, and then I used prize ribbon. Now I could have probably went back through and made mine a lot darker. I'm okay with the lighter blue. It's no big deal to me. And then on these, it's not quite as noticeable, but I kind of like it, you know. I think that's okay. And it kind of has a green look. I think that's because of the blue going on that craft. And then, so I really like those. And then I also did it in green, and I used, of course, they were all archival inks, and I used peeled paint for these. And some of them, you know, I was learning. It's my first time I've done this, so I think they turned out pretty good, pretty decent. I might actually cut some more out and like double these up, because they're pretty flimsy, that cream colored is. So, and I have those. So I'm like weird. I have them in an order, and I feel like that's the order they should stay in. So I have all of those, and I've already pulled some Christmas stamps and things out. I've got them sitting here ready to go. So I think I might do one page at a time, and we'll see how that goes. I'm not. I don't know how good at that I'm gonna be. All right, so let's see what we want to do here. I just haven't quite decided. I do this, like I get into a project and then it's like I just lose, like I have it all in my head and I think, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, and then I don't get to work on it for a while, and then I come back to it and I'm just like, I don't even know what I was doing. I don't even know what I wanted to do now. And that's where we are. So I do have things cut down, so we're just going to start sticking some stuff down and maybe matting, and we'll do like that. I think I'm going to save the covers for last. I did pick out the ones that I want to go on there. So I have those set aside so I don't have to worry about cutting into the paper that I want. And we're going to leave those to the side, and then we'll do those as last. That way we can keep it as flat as we can right here. So let's see. First, before we get into putting here, let's do one of the large pockets first. How about that? Or I'll tell you what I could do is go through and like get everything prepped. I mean, you know, like tape on and all that stuff. I think I'm gonna use tape on these. Could use glue. I couldn't really tell though if this tacky glue, it's thick, and it's supposed to be, it's extra tacky, fast holding, dries clear, strong, non-toxic. So I don't know if, like, you know, like Aleene's tacky glue, if you're not careful, it can make your, if you use, you know, too much of it, it can make your paper warp and stuff. And I don't want warped paper. So we'll attach this one down, and I'm just going to use my 1/4 inch here. And then I'm going to go through and just cut my corners off, straight across, so that when they fold up, they should not touch each other. Yeah. I think I'm also going to angle the top ones just slightly, just a little bit. The other one went flying all the way across the table. Okay. All right, so there's one. We will just stick this in on our top page here. Ooh, you know, I didn't think I could have left that tab that way. That way then the tag don't get hung up on it. I didn't think about that though, so we'll just do it this way. So I'm just gonna peel back a small little bit of that backer. And then I'm going to line it up right up to that score line. Pull it just a little bit closer here. Lining that up all the way across. Kind of making sure that the sides line up. And then I'm going to hold that, and I'm just going to pull this tape and press that down. So I'm just going to peel these up like this. And I'm gonna lay it back down and hold it and then pull and press. Pull and press. Like that. And then we'll see how much of the gap we've got here. Can you tell? That's not that bad. Okay, it's not as big as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, great. All right, so now we got our pocket in there. I'm gonna go ahead and see if this is gonna work. I may have to trim. Oh, no. That's good. It fits. Yeah, so that fits in there. Perfect. And we're gonna leave it in there. We can leave it in there. All right, so that goes in great. Okay. So now do I want this to go this way and then to go on top? Oh, ooh, okay, so here's where we have to stop and think about this. Okay, so I think I want one at the bottom. Okay. And then I want one at the top. So it will flip up this way and then flip down this way. I was just thinking, what if we had like a flip pocket? Instead of just having a pocket on there, what if it flipped? And then you can have like a photo here, or photos there, journaling photos there. Okay, let's see. I like that. So let's go ahead and take these and stick these down. And then I'll work with that. Because I do have all these extra other pieces over here, so we got plenty we can use to back that on and do whatever. Let me grab this. So let's go with, I guess it don't really matter. I'm gonna go with the bottom one first. Okay, so I'm just gonna peel back a little bit so that I can make sure, and I'm gonna make sure, I'd rather it hang off on this side than on this side because we still want it to open, right? So I'm gonna line that up right up to the edge of the pocket piece. Okay, I'm gonna hold that and stick that one down. That looks good. And then peel it and stick. And I did not angle those. It probably would have looked better to have it angled, but I did not, so that's okay. And then I'm gonna flip it this way. And I think I will angle them. I think I like that better. Just kind of cleans it up a little bit. So that way then if it is just a little bit longer, you don't have little bits, you know, that little corner is not gonna be sticking out. Okay, so we'll fold that one open. Do the same here, make sure that that's gonna fit up. Okay, so here is where, actually we're gonna do it this way. I think. We're gonna have it flap down. Okay, got that where I want. I'm just gonna start peeling that and stick that down. And so it seems like it's kind of gonna be off a tad, but I don't know. It's gonna be off, which is a tad. Yeah, okay. As long as I remain straight on the sides, I'm just gonna let it go. It is gonna add a little bit of extra here because I wanna make sure that there's plenty enough room that that's gonna fold down nice and flat and not be, you know, like so bulked up. And we probably will use magnets. Whoop, I shake you. I have some magnets stuck on my my camera mount there, so I have those, and then I always have the little these little big pieces here, so we can use those. All right, so it's gonna flip this way and then this way, and I wonder if I can like, yeah, that looks better. I think I like that better anyways. Even if I don't get it all the way. All right. Wait. Flip and flip. Okay, so let's see what kind of scraps we got right here. I've got all of these. So there's got to be one that's bound to be close-ish to this size, right? Maybe not those. That one. Not quite. All right, so I think we're gonna go with this. That one's just a little too short. I'd rather it be a little bit longer. I can trim it down just a hair. So we're gonna cut it down to 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 by 7 3/4. So 3 1/2 by 7 3/4, right? So I'm gonna score this one because we're gonna make it a little flip. So I'm gonna score it at, if I can score straight, at a half an inch. So I'm gonna put it in on the 7 3/4 inch side and score it at a half. Okay. That was sloppy scoring. Okay. And I'll tell you, you'll see why, because we still need to attach something to here and then attach this to the page. So we're gonna do it this way, and I think that should be right. Let me double check it. Should be pretty perfect. All right, so let's put tape on these. I am going to go through and cut these corners. And I'm also going to cut these corners. Okay. Having the smaller little ones, it is a little bit harder to get them to lay flat, but I didn't want to just toss it. I'm actually going to trim just a hair bit more off that. so that there we go. That works. All right. And then I'm just gonna attach this here close to that score line without going over it, and do the same thing that I do. I just like to peel back a little bit of that so that I can line it up good, and it's not, that way if it does get stuck down, it's not like, you know, it's there for forever and you can't do anything with it unless you tear your paper. And I may end up having to trim that down slightly. I think that's good. Looks fairly decent, so there we go. All right. And then do the same with these. And now we have a little pockety pocket. That is a little hanging off, so I probably just goofed it up, but that's okay. We got that. And then we're gonna attach this onto, I was wondering if maybe I wanted to do like let's see. I'm gonna take this envelope punch board because I think I want to give it that little decorative. So 3.5. So that's gonna give us 1 3/4. 1 3/4 about the center. So we're gonna go 1 3/4 here. That's gonna center that up. And yeah. Yeah, so that gives us a little, even though our tag's gonna stick out of it, I don't guess that was necessary, but I don't know why, I just was thinking of that and I like it. And that'll add just a little extra to it. All right, so I want this one, I think, to be here on this side. Do I want it to be like, so I'm gonna bring it in about 3 3/4. And make sure I'm on top of that. It's not sticking out 3/4. I think I like that. Okay. So I'm just gonna, oh my goodness, if I can get it. Come on. I didn't pull it like I did the others. Okay, so we're just gonna, before I like commit, I'm just gonna check it. Yeah, that's right. So I'm just gonna attach it here. Okay. And then I'm gonna add a magnet. And let me grab, my daughter brought, she had used stuff for school and she brought it all back to me, and now it's just here. Okay, get one of these. Not that one, it had glue on it. Okay, so let's see, maybe. All right, so we're going to take our magnet and our magnet saver, whatever you want to call that. And I'm just going to put some tape on the back side. And just stick it there. Okay. And then I'm going to take, I'm just going to take this larger tape here. And stick it down. Hello. Hello. What are you doing? Hey. Bear. 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 Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Want some loving? Look, your tail is knocking stuff over. Yeah. Alright, so here we've got that. And then that'll flip up. You know, yeah, that's fine. Well, I don't know. You know, I didn't think. I wonder if when we put our tag in there, is that going to see? You know what? You're kind of in the way. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I like that. I think that's going to work. There's our little tag. And we'll, of course, we'll do something with our little corners. No, I don't want to do that end. Let me see what I got. Let's do our mercy of the cat hair. Okay. You see it flying. We'll just do our little angle cut for our tag. And I'll just set those there, so I'll have those to go for the rest of them. All right. And then that will sit down in there. And when it's closed, it's not going to peek out too much, but we'll have, you know, we'll have like ribbon or whatever coming off of it, I'm sure. And that's how that goes. See, I can't do it with you right there. And it doesn't hinder it. It will open, even with that. It's kind of sticking out there. So, alrighty. So then that'll open that way, and then this will open down, and we have plenty of area for some nice photos. Yeah. And then, of course, we have, where did it go? Right there it is, our tag or a pocket there. What does it do to me? Okay. All right, so here's what we've got so far. We've got a flip, and a flip, like that. Whoops. And then that pocket there. We've got to insert here. I think I will leave this as a spread. I usually do on the middle sheets instead of adding two. And then we can add more onto this back side here. But I think we're gonna just go with this. And the next bit that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get my mats and things together and ready for this. and we'll map these and get them ready to go. And then we'll move on to the back side probably. We can go ahead and map the insides as well, and then move on to the back side and add our flaps and stuff like that. I kind of don't really know, but I hope you like this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you're not, if you are, thank you very much. And thank you for watching.